it's me again. Welcome to another part of Heileen 3 New Horizons. Let's get on now, shall we? Good afternoon, everyone. A fair? A bemused smile appeared on her lips before she chuckled lightly. An affair, an affair. She repeated the words, finding the speculation droll. She clutched her book tightly, covering her mouth with one hand, trying her best to muffle her laughter. Just then we heard a door open and the three of us whirled around to see who it was. What's going on? Why is there a commotion? Jonathan, have you been courting in Belay? The blunt question caused Jonathan's eyes to widen before he burst out laughing. Is that what the hubbub is about? No, I have not done anything of the sort. Amelia tapped the book in her possession. Jonathan was teaching me. Although my English is decent, I still feel the need to improve, and my writing is only mediocre at best. I also want to be able to read Latin. And since he's such an apt student, I've been giving lessons for free. John sulked and lowered his head. That's it? Well, look, that was rather anticlimactic. I'm sorry to disappoint. What a wild imagination. And we suspected something completely different. Well, John did first. Hey, you started to believe it too. Anyway, I clapped my hands to conclude the discussion. Now that all the misunderstandings have been cleared, I'm going to bed. Everyone exchanged their goodbyes and we quickly retired to our respective cabins, having enough excitement for one day. Oh, the ship is moving. We're leaving this colony already. Well, I better think what I'll do on board for the trip duration then. We know, read your book, read your book, read your book. Be a lookout, be a lookout. Navigation is my thing. Keep it up, we'll keep it up. Blah blah blah. I went on my usual evening stroll today, but this time I brought Marie with me so that we could admire the starry sky together. Hey Heileen, let's see if we can identify some constellations. Sure. Marie and I started looking, but unfortunately we couldn't find a single one. Hey, I think I see the Big Dipper, look. That doesn't look like the Big Dipper to me. Oh. You're doing it all wrong, ladies. Oh, hey Morgan, do you know how to find some constellations? Of course, they're essential for a traveller after all. Morgan started pointing at the skies and giving out names. Over there you can see Virgo. Just look for that really bright star named Spica. Then you'll see her as well. Over there you can see Orion's belt. And the Big Dipper is somewhere over there. Hey look Marie, I can finally see it. What? But where? I can't see it at all. Here, let me show you. Morgan came closer to Marie and grabbed her arm. I could see me in a brush as he pointed her hand in the right direction. Can you see it now? Yes, thanks. Wow, they're incredibly close to each other, aren't they? Pretend that you can't see them too. That's not fair. Why does Marie get to be so close to him when I can't? Heavy. Hey Morgan, I can't see them either. Can you come over and point them out to me too? But didn't you just say that you could? What? No, I didn't. Liar. You even said, hey look Marie, I can finally see it. Morgan looked at Marie and then turned to look at me. Look he gave Marie was that of amusement, but I couldn't say the same for the one he gave me. I can teach you the constellations better. What the? Isn't that John's voice? All three of us turned around and saw Laura desperately trying to carry a drunken John. What on earth happened to him? Wow, you see, John offered me some wine, but he can't handle his alcohol, unlike me. Then why bother offering you some? To get me drunk, I suppose? But he's the one who got drunk, and I'm the one who has to bring him to his cabin. It's all a funny turn of events, isn't it? Morgan watched as John swayed back and forth and shook his head. Let me help you with that. Help John instead of Morgan. No, Morgan, let me help. Laura. Are you sure? Yeah, it's no problem. I came close to them and grabbed John's left arm to support him, whispering, I'm so sorry for interrupting your fun, dear. I'll make it up to you. It's not a problem, Laura. I mean it. You're such a sweet girl. Not really. Besides, this stupid man clearly needs a lot of help. Oh, Hick, I'm so lucky to have two beautiful women carrying me. Shut up. The two of us carried John with a lot of difficulty. He kept saying silly things and he kept moving away from us and sitting and lying down on the floor a lot. When he lay on the floor for the third time, I finally had enough and started threatening him. John, if you don't stand up in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to call Juliet and let her kick your you-know-what. But I want to spend some more time with you beautiful women. There, John. You can just spend a lot of quality time with us in your room. John automatically stood up. Really? Yes. Now let us bring you there. Man, he really is a pig. We finally got him to his cabin. Minutes after he was put to bed, he began to snore. Laura and I got out as quickly and quietly as we could. Once we were out of his room, I started shaking my head in disbelief. What's the matter, sweetie? It's John. He's a nice man and all, but his behaviour is so irritating. Why did he try to get you drunk anyway? Laura started laughing and she patted me on the shoulder. What's so funny? Who cares? By the third drink he couldn't stop talking about you. I remained quiet and Laura laughed some more. You're so cute when you blush. No, I'm not. Stop teasing me. Okay, sorry dear. I really mean what I just said. So, what did he tell you? Sorry, but I can't say. Why? She winked and gave me a mischievous smile. I fear that your innocent young mind won't be able to take it. Oh, that's gross, Laura. Told you. I didn't even say anything and you were already disgusted. How much worse would it be if I repeated it all, word for word? Stop that. Ahaha. I couldn't help but wonder, what did John really tell her? Again. I need to have a rest. Woo! Iberia and I walked along the sandy shore, leaving the lifeboat beach not far away. The crew of the Morning Star were continuing their search for the diamond under Otto's eager greed and were investigating the coast for any shallow shipwrecks. Iberia decided to use the opportunity to explore the island and decided to come along. This is definitely one of the hottest islands I've been on. How far south did Morgan take us? Feel free to rest as often as you need to, Heileen. I don't want you fainting. I don't faint that often. Okay, maybe I have been. I must still be adjusting to the climate. As we walked farther inland and uphill, we spotted a few odd evergreen trees over 20 feet tall, with smooth bark and lanceolate leaves. Hanging from the branches were large green oblong fruit, covered in prickles. One of those, I think I've seen them in a marketplace a few times, but I have never tried one. Iberia approached one of the trees and carefully plucked the fruit. She turned it over in her hands, examining it closely. I think I heard it being called a graviola. I clapped my hands. Well, they must be edible then. Let's dig into one. I took out my knife and extended a hand to receive the graviola Ebelia was holding. It was heavy in my hands. We both took a seat under the shade of the evergreens, and I deftly cut the fruit in half, surprised to see that the middle consisted of white pulp substance with black inedible seeds. A sweet smell emanated from the fruit, and I handed Ebelia one of the halves. I wish I brought a spoon. You can't exactly eat this like an apple. You can use a knife to carve out the chunks. I followed Ebele's suggestion. Soon we had uneven cuts of graviola pulp in the shells. I hungrily picked up a piece and crammed it into my mouth while Ebele delicately nibbled on her portion. There was a burst of sweet and citrus flavour in my mouth, like a mixture of strawberry and pineapple with a hint of creamy banana. My palate was overjoyed by the complex savour, and I hungrily scarfed down my portion, unable to hold back a hum of delight. This is so good. From its appearance, you think it'd be more unappetizing. You're practically inhaling the graviola. You should slow down before... Ack. I pounded my chest as I felt a chunk in the wrong pipe. Ebelia gave me a hard slap on the back, causing the morsel to dislodge, and I gulped hard. I gave Ebelia a mortified look, and she chuckled. It's hard enough. It's delicious. After we finish, we should pick some for everyone. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. We ate in peace, enjoying each other's company. The shading of the tree kept us cool, and I admired the scenery around us. Once in a while, my eyes met Ebele's, and I quickly glanced away, not wanting to seem rude. When we had finished our meal, I casually wiped my hands to get rid of the juices and began harvesting the nearest evergreen. Ebele joined in, and we started to make a small pile of graviola. I will return with a few baskets. That way it will be easier for us to carry them. After Ebele left, I surveyed the small pile, wondering if it was enough. How much should I pick? Pick some more. Determined, I harvested one of the trees until it was completely devoid of fruit. When Ebele returned, she saw what I was doing and frowned. Heileen, you're going to pick the entire island clean. We should never take more than what we need. Ah, you're right. Sorry, Ebele. She paused, passed me a basket. Despite how flimsy the baskets felt, Ebele assured me they were strong enough for the graviolas' weight, as long as we did not overstuff them. While I carefully placed the heavy fruit into the bottom of the basket, a question surfaced in my mind. Hey, Ebele, are there any fruits or food that you missed back in Africa? Ebele paused and fiddled with the handle of the basket as she pondered my question. Then she smiled. I missed cola nuts. Cola nuts? They're nuts with a nice aroma and a pink colour. They taste bitter at first, but as you chew, they become sweet. You can boil them to make a tea or eat them raw, or be used in flavouring. They are also important in many rituals like marriage and considered sacred. Marriage? What would they be used for? Yes, a couple could not be considered a husband and wife until they shake cola nuts with their parents. One is broken and eaten, while another is kept intact as a reminder of the fulfillment. That's really interesting, Ebele. I wish I could taste a cola nut. The way you describe them, I wish I could taste one now. They sound delicious. Ebele laughed and gave a mocking frown. Is food all you think about, Heileen? I pouted and looked away defensively. I can't help it. Being marooned on an island made me realise that food is not always easy to come by. I never had to think about going hungry in Liverpool. I was provided a comfortable lifestyle. Oh, I think we're done. We should be able to carry this back to the ship now. I realised both of our baskets were now full of graviolas. We lifted them and trekked back to the ship, careful not to spill the fruit. When we returned to the Morning Star, we learnt that Otto's search was fruitless. the complete opposite of 2 hours. Despite the failure, the crew members were thankful for the fresh fruit, especially Marie. Moreover, I got to learn more about Ibile. Man. Whee! A herbalist. I just finished eating my lunch and was on my way to finish the other jobs when Otto and Laura called out to me. Heileen, what is it? Here. Laura handed me a basket with some fresh fruit and wine in it. For me, thanks. What is the occasion? Laura laughed as Otto gave me a glare and muttered the word fool. Silly child, it's for Morgan. Oh, well, why are you giving him this? It's a thank you for his hospitality. He's always been kind to us, so Otto and I decided to give him this. But why not give it to him yourselves? Tee-hee, that's for us to know and you to find out. Laura gave me a wink, then she walked away with Otto. Wow, this basket is quite heavy, isn't it? I ran in front of Morgan's cabin and tried to knock on the door. All my efforts were futile, though. I was afraid that I might drop the basket. But hey, the port is open, so maybe if I pushed the door open and quickly entered the room. But unfortunately, something extremely bad happened. Ouch. I sprawled face first on the floor, and the basket of fruit and wine flew up in the air. Ow, what did I just trip on? I looked behind me and saw a loose floorboard. I blinked and stared at it for a few seconds, then decided to give it a piece of my mind. Stupid floorboard. Why did you have to get in my way? When I turned around, I saw Morgan and Juliet staring at me. Juliet looked at me for a few seconds, then she grabbed her stomach and started laughing. Oh man, you just took communists to a whole new level. That floorboard has been loose for years, and no one has ever tripped on it. But you did, ah ha ha ha. And then you actually lauded it. Are you crazy or something? Morgan tried to stop her, but he ended up laughing with her. Get angry at them. Hey, that's not very nice. Instead of helping me, you just stand there and laugh at my misfortune. I never knew you were so mean, Juliet. I stood up and glared at the two of them for the first time ever. A look of fear appeared on Juliet's face. Listen, Heileen, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I don't need your apologies. Fine then. And to think all those things scattered on the floor were a present from Otto and Laura. Present for who? For you! Oh, what a waste. Glad it has gone to waste. You don't deserve a gift like that after the way you laughed at me. Morgan blinked and gave me a disappointed look. I'm sorry, maybe laughing at you was too much. If my uncle finds out about this, I'm doomed. There's no need to tell Otto and Laura. We'll just clean it up and pretend this never happened. Okay then, thanks Morgan. Now let's clean this mess up. Excuse me, I'm not going to clean that. Cleaning is a mess. A mess is a ship's boy's job, not a pirate's. Morgan ignored her and started to prick up the fruit. Juliet stared at him in horror. Morgan turned to look at her. Okay then, if you don't want to help, you can go ahead and leave. Huh? If you're not going to help, you can get out. I don't want you getting in the way of our cleaning. Juliet raised an eyebrow and looked at Morgan and me, and then she frowned. I think I get it. I guess you don't want a third wheel around, huh? Juliet gave a pissed look, and I smiled sweetly back at her. I'm sure that get out was written all over my face. Juliet walked out of the room, mumbling things like third wheel and doing whatever you want. Morgan and I started cleaning with several moments that were quite close to each other. Morgan kept staring at me. Is there something on my face? Did I get a bruise? Morgan looked away and started to pretend that he was cleaning. No, it's nothing. I continued cleaning, but I noticed Morgan was still trying to steal glances at me while we worked. I started feeling really warm, and it only got worse every time I caught him looking at me. By the time we were done, I felt really hot, and then I looked in the mirror. My reflection was beet red. Hey, are you alright? Cleaning is a very tough and tiresome job, isn't it? Morgan laughed and went to a nearby drawer. He opened it and brought out some biscuits and rum. I was supposed to eat these with Juliet, but since she left and didn't help, we should just eat it ourselves. He gave me a biscuit and I ate it gladly. It's delicious. Why don't you have some more? You deserve it. I ate only a few of the biscuits. I took a few more biscuits and quickly ate them too. When I'd eaten enough, I drank some of the rum and smiled at Morgan in thanks. Are you on a diet or something? Eat some more. I'm sorry, but I can't risk eating Juliet's biscuits. They aren't Juliet's biscuits. Morgan stopped laughing and paused for a moment. Maybe she does consider them her biscuits. Morgan laughed some more and I laughed with him. After we'd stopped, I began to feel myself getting warmer again. Morgan and I talked for a while, then I finally decided to get going. But before I left, Morgan put his hand on mine, looked me in the eye, and gave me a very warm smile. Remember to thank Otto and Nora for the gift, okay? Okay, but is this really okay? It was ruined. There's no need to fret about that. Morgan and I remained close, staring into each other's eyes, then he lowered his gaze to the floor. Besides, I think the best gift I got was you. Hey, I think I left my sword. Juliet stared at the two of us, then looked at the table and noticed the half-eaten biscuits. Are those my biscuits? Yeah, you see, I had to. So you mean to say you ate my biscuits without me? I'm sorry, but how dare you, you monster! You knew they were my favourite kind, you knew. Juliet looked at him as if she wanted to tear him to shreds, then she turned to face me. You ate them too, didn't you? Yeah, sort of. Listen, I'm sorry, Juliet. I'll replace them. Morgan, my sword, give it to me now. Oh man, I've got to get out of here. You're going to kill Heileen just because of some biscuits? They're supposed to be my biscuits. And don't worry, after I'm through with her, you're going to be next. She's blocking the door. How am I supposed to get out? Listen, calm down, Juliet. They're just biscuits. We can get more of them. Fine. Sword or no sword, I'm going to kill the two of you. I prepared myself for the worst, but Morgan blocked me from Juliet and grabbed a hold of her arms. Now, Juliet, calm down. Breathe in, breathe out. As Morgan tried to calm Juliet down, I decided to run for the door as quickly as I could. But before I left the room, I gave them one last look, and I couldn't help but notice how close they were to each other. I returned to my cabin thinking about what Morgan was about to say. I think he was about to finish his sentence with you. So, why does that witch have to ruin everything? Juliet told me that we're sailing to another colony. The travel lasts 2 days, so I should find myself something else to do while aboard. I wiped the sweat off my forehead after I dropped a sack of vegetable bulk at my feet, pausing briefly to catch my breath. Marie mumbled to herself while she carried a bundle of hardtack. We spent all morning hauling supplies up the ramp, along with a few others who were sorting the items in the ship. I looked up and spotted Juliet, overseeing our activity from the quarterdeck of the Morning Star. Marie approached me and lowered her voice to avoid being overheard. Look at her monitoring us while she does nothing. Would it kill her to lend a hand once in a while? She never does the dirty work around here. I trapped Marie's resentful glare. Point at Juliet isn't all bad. Although you have a point, Juliet isn't all that bad, Marie. She did have us multiple times since we've been rescued. You mean Morgan? From what I recall, didn't Juliet originally want to feed you to the shark? It was Morgan who saved all our skins from her wrath. She brushed past me in a huff, struggling to maintain her balance while she trooped up the ramp with her heavy bundle. Seriously, Heileen, I don't even see why you bothered to defend her. She's nothing but an arrogant Grimalkin who... Marie stumbled as she lost her footing by the edge of the ramp. Without thinking, I dropped my bag and dove after her, my chest hitting the hard surface as my hand desperately steadied hers. She dangled over the water, and I could feel my arm being strained by her weight. She screamed, and my free hand gripped the rim of the ramp as I struggled to pull her up. It was no use. Hang on. Don't let me go. Please help me. Her grip started slipping from mine. I reached in with a second hand. As soon as I did that, I could feel my entire body being dragged close to the edge, and I tried not to panic. It was then that I sensed a shadow looming over me, and Marie looked up in shock as her flailing ceased. Fluid and strong as a feline, Juliet crouched down beside me and forcefully grabbed Marie's other hand. Barely relying on me, Juliet hoisted Marie up effortlessly, and I could only gawk at her prowess. Marie sprawled on the ramp, breathing heavily from her ordeal, while Juliet simply stood up and stared down at the both of us. After a moment, I helped Marie stand up, her fingers quivering in my grip. Juliet's lower lip protruded in dissatisfaction, and I could tell she was seething quietly under her tricorn. You foolish fool, what the... Oh, thank you, Juliet. I cut in to prevent Juliet from lecturing poor Marie, who looked ready to cry any minute. I grabbed Juliet's gloved hand and began covering it with kisses, alarming Juliet and Marie simultaneously. Stop that blatant dismay of adulation. Although I anticipated Juliet would retract her hand, she did not pull away. After releasing her, Juliet turned to Marie in disdain. Well, do you have anything to say to me? Marie fell silent, biting the inside of her lip in thought. I inwardly sighed in relief, delighted that she decided to take the humble and tactful approach. I think you should lend a hand instead of watching others do the hard labour. Marie, why? I slapped my palm to my forehead while Juliet laughed at Marie's utterance. Pouting, Marie turned around and muttered a hasty apology before storming down the ramp to fetch more supplies. Leaning down to pick up the book, I paused when I felt a hand touch my shoulder. Juliet glanced at the bag and shook her head. Don't bother. You shouldn't be doing strenuous tasks like this anymore. Huh? Why? You're educated and, as much as I don't want to admit it, an asset to the crew. You shouldn't risk getting an injury over some meagre task that most of the other sailors can do in your stead. I agree with Juliet about your skills. You're right, Juliet. I shouldn't exert myself over trivial tasks like this. After all, unlike me, they're expendable. I straightened up my posture with pride, unable to suppress my conceit. This was a rare chance to impress her. I mean, who else would do the accounting? Who would provide valuable suggestions during the meeting? Who would bring Morgan his midnight slacks? I gasped when I realised I let the last one slip and quickly covered my mouth with a hand. However, Juliet's nostrils flared right as I said it, and she glared at me in fury. What did you say? You're visiting Morgan in the middle of the night? Uh-oh. Look at the tide. You should probably cast off the ship soon. I'll leave you to duty. I scampered away with Juliet at my heels. Come back here and explain yourself before I cast you off. Eep, that didn't go over well. Read your bugs, read your bugs, read your bugs. Be a locker, be a locker, be a locker. Navigation is my thing. Navigation is my thing. There's a big party at the colony with music and dances. However, it's getting late. Should I hang out with someone in particular who's good at hand-fending, or just go to sleep? Ooh. You're still more likely going to bonk Marie. But, yes. I decided it's always the best friend, remember? And lesbianism. I decided to go to sleep, maybe another round. Taking Belay with us. Pray to be bloody back. Maria, Belay and I travelled to a small island far from the colony to gather some herbs. Belay and I were both already used to being in the forest, managed to do our work with no problem. Maria, however, seemed to be quite nervous about being there. Heileen, I just think I just saw a big snake behind that tree. Where? Over there. Wait, it's gone. That means there's a snake on the loose. Calm down, Marie. I think you're just imagining things. Maybe. We continued our work, and after a few minutes, Marie started screaming my name again. Heileen! What is it now, Marie? I saw a giant spider. It was really huge and hairy, and no, I'm not imagining it this time. Marie. Before I could say anything, Kabila walked up to the two of us and put a hand on Marie's shoulder. Do not worry, Marie. They won't attack you unless you start provoking them. Really? Are you sure? Yes. Marie's face turned slightly pink. Thanks for telling me, Ibile. No problem. Ibile gave us a smile and went back to work. I think I understand how you were able to survive for so long on an uncharted island, Heileen. Haha, yes, I wouldn't have lasted a single day if she hadn't found me back then. I suppose you could consider me lucky. Then, when it was almost noon, the three of us travelled back to the colony with our baskets full of herbs. I was so excited over the amount of herbs that we got that I couldn't wait to go back to the ship and show them to Elias and Marco. In my haste, I forgot to walk carefully on the slippery path and I ended up slipping and falling on the ground. Heileen, are you okay? The two of them hurried to my side. They simultaneously leaned down to check on me, their faces full of worry. I'm fine. I stood up and gave them a sheepish grin to reassure them. But as I looked around and I saw all the herbs littered on the ground, my grin disappeared and I immediately groaned. Don't pick them up. Well, I suppose there's no use crying over spilt milk. Let's just go back to the colony. I ran one of my hands through my hair and heaved out a long sigh. But Ibile merely smiled as she picked up the basket I had dropped. You don't have to worry, Heileen. You can sit down and rest while I gather all these herbs. If you say so, thanks, Ibile. No problem. Hey, do you need a hand? I'll help you. That would be most appreciated. Thank you, Marie. I rested my back against the nearest tree I could find and watched the two of them pick up all the herbs on the ground. Once they were done, Marie approached me to give me the basket. Here you go. Be careful not to drop it this time. No, let me carry it. Oh, thanks, Ibile. To show her my gratitude, I walked up to her and gave her a kiss on the cheek. Marie looked disappointed by that. We continued our walk back to the ship, with Ibile in front of Marie and I bringing up the rear. At some time, Maria came closer to me and asked me something in a hushed tone. Do you like Ibile, Heileen? Huh? Where did that come from? Of course I do. She's so kind, sweet and caring that it would be impossible for me not to like her. Fine. She moved away from me and I ignored her the rest of the way back. I wonder what's up with her. My day is low. Go to sleep. ship is moving. We're leaving this colony already. Well, I better think what to do on board for the trip duration then. Today was another hot day, but I think this particular day has been one of the most tormenting ones of my life. Even though it was about to set, the sun was still hotter than usual. To make matters worse, I had an awful headache. The only thing that kept me from fainting in the middle of the road was the thought of resting in a very cool room. Hey, huh? Oh, hello, Marie. Marie arrived with Sebastian, Laura and John in tow. Where are you going? I'm just heading back to the ship. What about you guys? We're going to the tavern today. Don't you want to join us, dear? No thanks. Why ever not? Let's just say I'm not in the mood. Oh, well, that's a shame. Wait, I know just how to convince her. I suddenly felt strong hands pick me up and I found myself being carried by Sebastian. Oh, for the love of... Persuade him to let you go. Ashton, please put me down. I really am not in the mood. Ignore my plea and continue walking to the tavern. What part of I am not in the mood do you not understand? Come on, it'll be fun. Hey, Sebastian. Is something wrong, John? If the lady says she doesn't want to, then you shouldn't force her. Sebastian put me down and turned his head to John. Thanks, John. No problem. You know what, John? It seems that you don't care for Heileen at all. What? Look at how stressed she is. I was only going to bring her there so she could relax. But didn't she tell us she's not in the mood? I'm sure she's only acting like she doesn't want to. I most certainly am not. See, I told you so. I thought you knew a lot about women. Sebastian started laughing. What makes you think I don't know a lot about them? Can't you see that I, like you, can make dozens of women fall for me so easily? John turned red with anger for a moment, then he looked at me, smirked and said, Maybe so, but remember this, Sebastian. I, like you, would rather have Heileen fall for me than the dozens of women who are nothing compared to her. I felt my face getting hotter as Sebastian clenched his fist. Wow, good luck with that. I could snatch her away from you any moment. Just be glad I'm not trying. Wait, why are they suddenly fighting over me? As if she'd fall for the likes of you. What makes you think she's gonna fall for a loser like you then? Okay, so this is getting a little bit out of hand. I'm sure Heileen prefers a loser like me to an arrogant, womanizing bastard like you. Isn't that right, Heileen? Look, who's talking? Aren't you a womanizer yourself? This is kind of annoying. They're acting like children. A few more insults later and they began shouting at each other. That's it, I'm going to put an end to this. My head can't take it anymore. Hey! I met her first, I have a right to... Hey! So what, just because... Hey! John and Sebastian finally took up the argument and turned to look at me. You guys just stop that, it's making my headache worse. The two of them did stop arguing but continued to glare at each other. If looks had killed, the two of them would have dropped dead. You know, instead of making me feel better, the two of you only made me feel worse. I'm so sorry, Heileen. Yeah, me too. Just leave me alone, okay? The two of them sighed in disappointment at the same time. Boys, I think we should go. Laura, I'm so sorry for my behaviour. You see, my headache is killing me and I really... You don't have to explain anything, my dear. I know how fatigued you are. Thanks for understanding. No problem. Anyway, Marie, boys, let's go. Take care of yourself, okay? Of course. All four of the men to the tavern and decided to leave for the ship. Ooh. Tavern, go to sleep. My somewhat tiring day was over. I was on my way back to my room when I was suddenly distracted by some noises coming out of Laura's cabin. I approached the door to listen. It seems that I could hear Laura laughing, and then there was another voice, a man's voice. What's going on? I decided to move closer, and only then did I realise that the door was actually open. I peered through to see what was up. Laura, are you... only to be greeted by the sight of Jonathan and Laura sitting on the bed with their bodies very close to each other. Alright? Ah, ma petite fille. I'm sorry, what? Jonathan gave me an apologetic look and I stared at the two of them in confusion. I've only finally realised what was going on when I first noticed that both of them were holding a glass of wine. They're both getting drunk. Make them stop. I grabbed both of their glasses and put them on the table. You guys might accidentally spill it all over the bed, so it's better if I put them here. Merci. Thank you very much, Heileen. I think that's a great idea. Jonathan gave me a smile as he tried to get himself away from Laura. As you can see here, Laura is trying to keep me hostage. From the way he was talking, I can see that he wasn't as drunk as Laura. Laura, it's getting late and Jonathan surely has better things to do than stay here. Tee, Jonathan can't stop looking at my breasts. Excuse me? Come on, don't pretend to know what I'm talking about. It's obvious. Jonathan turned bright red as he looked away from Laura. I better get going. Can you please take care of her, Heileen? Of course. Laura pouted and stood up to stop Jonathan. Jonathan! Stay here, okay? Sorry, but I can't. Like Heileen says, I have better things to do. But what could be better than staring at my breasts? Jonathan opened his mouth and then closed it again. Laura suddenly looked at me like she's only just realised I was here. So you have to stare at Heileen's breasts instead? No, of course not. Why would he ever think that? Jonathan, you dirty young man, you're targeting Heileen's breasts now, huh? But my breasts are bigger than hers. I felt the blood rise into my cheeks. Laura, why do you sound so surprised, Heileen? It's the truth. My breasts are bigger than yours. So I don't understand why Jonathan preferred to see yours. I most certainly do not have any desire to look at your or Heileen's breasts. Maybe Jonathan prefers small-chested women. Do you, Jonathan? Yes, wait, no, I mean, just the right size. Can you please stop talking about this? Heileen, this is no laughing matter. Laura continued teasing Jonathan by putting one of her hands onto her chest. Monsieur Jonathan, stay, s'il vous plaît. Non. Oui. Heileen, help me out here, please. Even the whole thing was quite entertaining, I chose to help Jonathan instead. There, Laura. Can you please calm down? People might hear you and start to worry. Huh? Laura gave me a dazed look and then she lay down on her bed. I'm so sorry about that, Heileen. You see, when Laura learnt that I used to study French, she asked me if I could teach her a few words. Then the two of us decided to have a drink. And as you can see... No need to apologise, Jonathan. It's fine. At least I arrived just in time. Yeah, your timing was perfect. I was actually praying for Otto or someone else to arrive. Be glad it's me. If it had been my uncle, you'd be dead by now. Really? Thank goodness it was you then. An awkward silence ensued that was broken by Laura's groans. I should get going now. Good night, Heileen. Good night. But Laura got up again and tried to reach for Jonathan. Bonsoir! Jonathan bolted out of the door as I tried to hold her down. I tried my best to keep Laura's arms down, and while I did, Laura looked at me with a half-drunk yet dreamy face. I felt blood rising to my cheeks again and tried to avert my eyes. Please stop looking at me like that. It's quite unnerving. Then Laura started caressing my face. Belle demoiselle. I didn't even know what that meant, but I could tell she was complimenting me. Thank you, Laura, but please, can't you go to sleep now? I pulled her leg in order to make her lie down, but she refused and made an attempt to reach one of the wine glasses that I had been set on the table a few minutes ago. No more drinking, Laura. Throw them into the ocean. I instantly grabbed the two glasses, took them out on the deck and poured their contents into the ocean. When I came back, Laura laughed at me and looked up at me and asked what I did. Oh, I just cleaned up the mess in here. Oh, merci. Enough of the French, please. Okay then. And she gave me a smile and lay down on bed. Are you going to be alright, Laura? Laura? I moved closer to her, thinking she was only whispering her answer, but she actually turned out to be asleep. Hey, you're so cute when you're sleeping, Laura. And with that, I just stood up and left. I was asked to accompany Morgan and Juliet to the tavern today. I agreed to go because I wanted to get rid of my boredom, but now I was starting to regret my decision. Mostly because in the end I ended up stuck listening to their dull, repetitive pirate tales. I'm pretty sure I've heard this particular one about a dozen times. The way they dropped to their knees and started begging, it was such a hilarious sight. Indeed, and do you remember the time when... Oh God, make this end. Ha ha, that tale never gets old. Yeah, but I think the one about Nathaniel Butler was more entertaining. Oh, why don't you tell us that tale again? Please, make this stop. If it doesn't, I'm going to cut my ears off. I think this is kind of boring, actually. Hallelujah. I think you should tell them the tale of El Drac instead. No, that's even more boring. Well, I will save him for later. I should tell them Nathaniel's story first. That's it, I need something to find that would get me out of here. I desperately scanned the tavern for anything that would save me from the impending boredom. I found Sebastian kissing in the corner, and to my surprise, he didn't have a horde of women surrounding him. When he saw me staring at him, I gave him a beckoning gesture. I hesitated for a moment, but when I saw Jonathan and Elias sitting at the table near him, I decided to go for it. I sat down in front of him. You look lovelier than usual today, Heileen. I felt myself blush, and in order not to show it to him, I decided to fake a laugh. Why are you such a gentleman tonight? I pointed at Jonathan and Elias. Well, after listening to the conversation of these two gentlemen, I became a gentleman myself. I find that hard to believe. Hey, I'm surprised myself. I think some of their manners have rubbed off on me. Oh, hello, Heileen. I didn't realise you were there. Good evening, Heileen. Good evening, asked Jonathan. What are you doing here? We were discussing poems and literature. Would you like to join us? I think I'll just sit here and listen. Suit yourself. Sebastian ordered some more wine. Here. Live it yourself. I wanted to drink a lot, but I didn't want give Sebastian the impression that I was easy to get. Besides, Elias was right behind us. I knew how much he had disapproved of drinking. So I decided to listen to Elias and Jonathan while taking a few sips of the wine every now and then. That's it? That's what? I've already emptied the first bottle. You barely even managed to finish your second glass. You should drink some more. No thanks, but no. I gave my reply in a firm manner in order to spare myself from his constant badgering. Elias and Jonathan continued talking, and when Elias noticed that it was getting dark out, "Oh my, it's gotten late, I have to go." "Oh well, that's too bad." "I'm so sorry, let's continue our talk some other time." He stood up and patted Jonathan on the back, waved at Sebastian and I, and then left the tavern. As we were watching him go, Sebastian suddenly spoke up. "Heileen?" "Yes?" "What do you think of Elias?" "Excuse me?" I said, "What do you think of Elias?" Why wouldn't he suddenly ask that? Jonathan must have also heard the question, for he watched me intently, looking like he was waiting for my answer as well. "Well, he's a very good man and a very excellent medic." "I see. Don't forget, Heileen, he's also very educated. He's very different from the ignorant people in here. He's like..." Then when they realised that Sebastian was there, he looked at him in shock. "I apologise if I offended you." Jonathan curtly bowed his head and Sebastian laughed. "No offence taken, but thank you. Besides, being ignorant is not all that bad. As long as I have all the women and money I want, and it's fine." I disapproved of his comment. I tried to protest what he just said, but he was so busy talking about women that he wouldn't listen to me. So all I did was shake my head in disbelief. Sorry, it really is so stupid and shallow. I was getting annoyed with ridiculous ramblings, so I decided to find a way to escape. And as if someone was answering my prayers, I suddenly noticed a prostitute told me nearer. "Hey Sebastian, look." I pointed at the barely dressed lady and Sebastian grinned. "She certainly looks like she could entertain you, right?" Indeed. Sebastian was still staring at her, so I grabbed my nuts and moved to Jonathan's table. "Had enough? Let's just go." I grabbed Jonathan's arm and the two of us walked out the cabin. "Hey Alina, I think another man has her. How about you entertain me, huh?" "Huh, Heileen?" I've been tricked." Heileen, did you just hear that? "Hear what?" "There, look over there, it's a brawl." I looked in the direction where he was pointing in, and I saw two men fighting outside the tavern. "Who are they?" "How should I know?" "Hey, let's take a closer look." "Isn't that a bit dangerous?" "No, it isn't. What if we get hurt?" "That's a bit weird calling you for me." "I usually like to take risks." "Oh, fine." Maria and I ran towards the tavern, and once we got closer, we finally out who the two men were. It was Morgan and Sebastian, and wow! Morgan is not wearing his usual outfit. I watched in horror as Morgan delivered a heavy blow to Sebastian's face. And behind me, I could hear the crowd cheering for him. Even Juliet was here, and it looked like she was enjoying the show. "Juliet, why won't you stop them?" "Why should I? It's fun to watch." Does she really enjoy seeing each other people in pain that much? Well, can I at least know what started this mess? We were playing with dice and Sebastian cheated. Oh, no wonder everyone is favouring Morgan. But how did Sebastian cheat? You see, we were playing with money, and Sebastian already won quite a large sum. Morgan got suspicious, so he checked the dice and found out that they were rigged. Sebastian tried to explain it was given a load of dice, but no one believed him. Out of my way, coming through. I looked behind me and saw Jack closely followed by Robert. Jack, thank goodness you're here, but wait, that's how you come to watch. Do I look like the kind of man who enjoys seeing people fight, Heileen? Oh, sorry. Now let us through. I moved out to Jack and Robert's way and I watched them try to stop the two men fighting. Jack grabbed a hold of Morgan and Robert grabbed a hold of Sebastian. Morgan must be really mad. He was almost red with rage and trying his hardest to get away from Jack. He was even punching him. Jack glared and snarled at him. If you want to fight so badly, fight me. Stay out of this, you're not involved. Morgan, I understand how you feel, but I don't think you should settle things with a fight. You don't understand, I absolutely hate cheaters. I think we should just kick Sebastian out of the crew since he proved that he cannot be trusted. Get angry at Sebastian. I looked at Sebastian and he actually smiled at me. I got so mad that I must almost stood and slapped in his face as hard as I could. Everyone gasped and Sebastian screamed and howled. They stared at me in shock and Sebastian gave me a vicious glare. What was that for? Are you an idiot? Everyone around me started to laugh hysterically. I guess they thought what I just did was really funny. I couldn't say the same for Sebastian though, he looked pretty offended. You slapped me really hard, then you call me an idiot. Just what kind of woman are you? Don't ask me that. You should know very well why I did that. Listen, if it's about the whole cheating thing, guy, shut up. Don't you dare try worming your way out of this. Why are you so angry at me? Don't you know? I think you're angry at me because I cheated someone. Indeed, and the person you cheated is someone who accepted and trusted you. Morgan gave you the chance to be an adventurer and he trusted you as his friend. How could you repay him with this? If I were him, I would have killed you already. My thoughts exactly. Thank you, Heileen. Sebastian looked at me, then at Morgan, and he bowed his head. Sorry, I won't ever do it again. Good. But in my defence, I forgot that those dice were rigged. I thought I was just getting lucky. A pathetic excuse from a very pathetic man. Would it hurt you to stop insulting me for at least 10 minutes? You deserve those insults. Okay, it seems like the tension between the two of you has disappeared. Robert and I are going to let the two of you go now. But if I so much see a single punch flies, you'll have to answer to me. Sebastian Morgan grunted at the same time. Okay, Robert, we can let them go now. Jack let go of Morgan and Robert dropped Sebastian on the floor. Ow. Sorry. Morgan laughed and he offered his hand to help him get up. Sebastian gladly accepted it, but once he was up, Morgan didn't let go. I forgive you this time, Sebastian, but I will cut your rations in half and you will not drink wine for a week. Sebastian looked sad as he nodded his head, but Morgan had a huge grin on his face. It was sort of scary. Morgan finally let go of Sebastian's hand and walked away. Morgan stopped by her to tell me that we're sailing to another colony. It will take 2 days to reach the destination. Well, let's see what I can do then. And that is it for this session. All part of Heileen. We'll be back for more Heileen soon. Take care then.